going on? This is Fernando Cortez, and welcome to The Story, where I give firsthand experience of a baseball story that happened in my career once a week. Today, we're actually going to be talking about something very, very memorable for me, one of my most cherished experiences ever, and that is going to be my very first major league at bat. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to rewind all the way back to 2005, where I just got called up to the big leagues from AAA. I was on the Durham Bulls in the Tampa Bay Devil Rays organization, got called up on July 3rd to the big leagues to play against the Chicago White Sox at US Cellular Field. Now, that whole weekend in Chicago, we probably had, 55,000 people there because it was 4th of July weekend. And not to mention, in 2005, the Chicago White Sox won the World Series. And at the time, they were, pretty much close to 30 games over 500. So solid team. It was a great time of the year. And this place was jam-packed. Now, I didn't personally get into the game and have my very first big league experience until July 5th. And I'm going to tell you how that went down. So, as you know, I'm in the big leagues just kind of chilling on the bench, just soaking up the big league atmosphere, and I'm eating all the seeds, I'm eating all the gum, I'm drinking all the Gatorade, and all of a sudden, my manager at the time, Lou Piniella, goes, "Cortez, grab a bat, you're hitting." Now, as a kid, this is all I've ever wanted to do was hit in the big leagues, right? And I remember just kind of being stuck in place, thinking to myself, wow, this is it. This is everything I've been dreaming of. And all of a sudden, I was like, where's my bat? Where's my helmet? Where's my batting gloves? Where's my shin guard? And I'm just all over the place. And the funny thing is, my teammates were like, hey, you're about to hit, get ready. And so I'm feeling this added pressure of, them being excited for me. I'm searching everywhere. So I go to, grab a new piece of fresh gum out of the bubble gum bucket. And I didn't really realize how nervous I was until I grabbed that piece of gum out of the bucket and I tried to open it up and my hands were just shaking. And it dawned on me that I'm really nervous. So anyway, I'm trying to open it. I can't open it, so I just bite it. I bite it open like this, spit out the paper, throw the gum in, and then I start chewing it, put my batting gloves on. I got my shin guard on now. I go reach up for my helmet, and then I grab the bat that I had, which the funny part was, it wasn't even my bat. My bats were still in Durham, North Carolina, the ones that I like to use. It was a 34-31 L162 Louisville Slugger that I was swinging all year and feeling good with in AA and AAA, but I didn't have them in the big leagues. I had picked out of the bat rack one of Eric Munson's bats, which was similar in the handle, but had way more barrel to it, and it was a lot more top heavy, but it was the most comfortable thing that I could find at the time. So I ended up grabbing that bat, getting on deck, and I just remember wondering, why is it so loud? I know there's 50 some odd thousand people here, but why is it so loud? It's much louder than any stadium I've ever been in. And it dawned on me that in the big leagues, you hit with one ear flap. In the minor leagues, you have two ear flaps. So I was able to, obviously muffle certain noises when I was in the minor leagues, and obviously the crowds aren't as big. But now I have one ear flap completely gone and exposed to nothing but the crowd. And I can hear everything. "Cortez, you suck. You have no average." My name's on the scoreboard. It says Cortez on deck, 0-0-0. I have a 0 average because I've never had an at-bat in the big leagues, but they don't care. They're yelling at me, "You suck," and I hear everything. So I'm also looking down at first base, and I see my first base coach, Billy Hatcher, and, in between pitches, he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, listen, Dustin Hermanson, who's the pitcher I was about to face, he throws nothing but four-seam fastballs." So I'm like, okay, nothing but four-seam fastballs. I'm going to sit four-seam fastball. That's what I'm looking for. So you take all these emotions, you take all the nervousness, you take the excitement, you take the scouting report I'm getting. Right before I actually get to the on-deck circle, Eduardo Perez, who was a first baseman on my team, and you guys might know him as one of the analysis on Baseball Tonight, But he comes up to me and he stops me in my tracks and he goes, soak this all up. Take it all in. You'll never get it back. And although that was pretty cool for him to say, he was right. I knew I would never get that back. And it actually, gave me more pressure. And I was a little bit more nervous after hearing that, because now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm never going to get this at bat back. This is the first time ever. But man, it's something I'll always remember. So anyway, I walk up to the plate. I dig in and I'm facing Dustin Hermanson. And remember, I'm sitting dead red, four-seam fastball. First pitch, what do I get? Cutter. And I kind of glanced down to first base at my first base coach just a little bit. And I'm like thinking to myself, did he just throw me a four-seam fastball, or did he get around it and cut the ball a little bit? Or was he really throwing a cutter? I didn't know I was like, is that his four-seam? Is this four-seam a cutter? And that was all just going through my head. I'm like, nah, he must have just went around it. Next pitch, down and in. Looked like a cutter to me. And I remember just kind of glancing up, taking a deep breath, kind of looking down to first a little bit and saying to myself, is this his four-seam? Is this four-seam a cutter? I'm like, nah, I'm still sitting four-seam. Third pitch comes. Guess what? Backdoor cutter. At this point, I'm like, this dude doesn't have a four-seam fastball. He's throwing cutters. And I'm going to show the video here after I'm done telling the story, and you can see my reaction. You can actually see me look down to first base, and some of the audio might be a little low, but you can hear the announcer. The announcer says, and Cortez looks down to first base at the first base coach, Billy Hatcher, and they're saying it as if, why would I be doing that? You're right. Why would I look down to first base? There's no sign on. There's no reason for me to look for the first baseman for help, for him to help me hit. I was looking down to first base because I was looking at Billy Hatcher, and I was looking down at him at the scouting report everybody gave me that this dude doesn't throw four-seam fastballs. So I was a little aggravated. I was a little upset. So anyway, now we're on to the fourth pitch. We got, at the time, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fourth pitch, guess what? Cutter. Throws me another cutter. I ground out to second base. Gucci throws me out at first, and I'm 0 for 1 in the big leagues. My very first at-bat with a ground out to second base after thinking he threw nothing but four-seam fastballs. Instead, he threw cutters. After getting the speech from Eduardo Perez, you'll never get this one back. I was super nervous, not swinging my bat. But hey, let me tell you what. I wouldn't have drew it up any other way. It was awesome. It was great. It was everything that I've ever dreamt of. And guess what? I remember it. It's one of my most favorite moments in baseball is that first big league at bat, being on deck, seeing my name up on the scoreboard at a huge stadium in front of 50,000 people and saying, next up, pinch hitter, Fernando Cortez. So that's something I'll always remember. I'm going to play the video so you guys can take a look at the actual at-bat and put this story to the video and tell me what you think in the comments below. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing this once a week. I'm going to be telling a story of my baseball career. It could be anywhere from Little League all the way up to the big leagues and just different, on-field and off-field stories to give you guys a behind-the-scenes look. And, maybe I can share some of my experience and some really cool stories that you guys like and that you guys can share. So once again, thank you for joining me here at The Story. My name is Fernando Cortez, and enjoy the video.
Cortez bats for Hall, and Hall tonight went 0 for 3, and Cortez is making his major league debut with this at bat. Fernando, 23-year-old rookie, was at AAA yesterday, and they released Chris Singleton. Cortez pinch hitting. He takes strike 1 right down the middle. In combined 76 games at Montgomery, their AA affiliate in Durham, batted .317, 14 doubles, 5 triples, a homer, stole 21 bases. Cortez takes it over but low, 1 ball, 1 strike with nobody on, 1 out. The White Sox lead 6-4 in the top of the 9th inning. Sox are trying to go 30 games above 500. The 1-1 pitch. Strike call. Hermanson got a slider over. Cortez just stood there, watching it all the way into Brzezinski's mitt. He took a look at the first base coach, Billy Hatcher.
The Angels are busy.
Yeah, they won. Well, they're 1-1 with Minnesota in the first. A lot of ones.
The 1-2 pitch. Grounded to the second baseman, Iguchi. Plays it on the third bounce and throws out Cortez. 2 down. Everybody up at U.S. Cellular Field. Joey Gathright is the batter.